The Joe Rogan Experience.
We've both been busy. It's crazy.
And in the meantime, weed became legal.
Yes.
You guys were at the forefront, man. You guys were way ahead. You were ahead of everybody.
You know, we took a shot. We took a shot, you know, as stoners and advocates and whatnot. You know, we were stoners at first, right? You know, that's how you start. Like, you know,
Right.
your friend says, hey, man, try this. Or you're the one who says, try this, right? It's one or the other. And, you know, eventually you start getting into the High Times magazines and stuff like that and looking at the, you know, the centerfold pictures of the weed, but also we like
pictures of weed.
we like to read too occasionally. So, you know, we'd get into some of the activism aspect of it as well. And that's when we heard names like Jack Herrera, who pretty much opened our eyes to everything. And then, you know, I think we became real advocates. You know, at first, you know, we thought we were, you know, sort of. We read the High Times magazines and we were stoners, so we thought we were advocates. But like in reading what other freedom fighters were actually doing out there and protests and rallies and all that stuff, you know, we really weren't advocates like we thought. We became that later for sure.
Yeah, Jack was way, way, way ahead of the curve. He's such an interesting story, rest in peace, because he was a Goldwater Republican. You know, he was just a button-down, old-school Republican.
Yeah.
And then he got a girlfriend. And then his girlfriend got him smoking weed.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like, man, this is fucking amazing. God, why am I such a dick? What's wrong with me? Who am I? What am I doing with my life?
Absolutely. It totally flipped his life around.
Yeah. The Emperor Wears No Clothes is a fucking great book, man.
Yeah, it holds strong to this day because everything that he said in the book is sort of happening right now. All the stuff that they tried to prevent from happening through all the anti-cannabis propaganda.
Yeah.
You see it now. And now you see those very companies trying to get into the industry.
Yeah, they were always on the outside, like waiting. You know, there was like at the launching block, not quite ready to run, but any minute now it's going to get legal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, they're lying in wait with fields like acreage that no one can ever come close to.
Probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing I heard maybe like 5 years ago, before it was legal in Denver, or it was a bit longer than that, before we got legalization here, that, you know, companies like Philip Morris and you know, companies like that were already buying land and already trademarking names, you know, for some of the cannabis that we know today, so that when they come into the game, you know, they have ownership on some of the names and some of the brands and trademarks and stuff like that to that. And obviously the acreage to, you know, grow vast sums of cannabis.
Yeah.
You know, who knows how true that is, but I don't doubt some of that.
I don't doubt it either. The sneakiest shit was Ohio. They were trying to make it legal, but if they were going to make it legal, there was only it was like 2 companies that were out. Jamie's from Ohio.
I think like 4, but I think that is how it went through.
Yeah.
They were the only ones going to be allowed to grow it and sell it. Like, fuck you.
Monopoly.
That is not legal weed. That is you being a cunt.
That's monopoly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, because, you know, you had like people that got those licenses or permits or whatever that had no knowledge on the cannabis culture or business, how to cultivate and how to run retail stores or any of that. They didn't have any of that knowledge. And, you know, they'll usually give it to an insider because they know how much money they stand to make like that. That's like if there was just one distribution center, right? And everybody has to go through that distribution center. How much money does that distribution center make? Because you got to pay for your shit to go there. And then, you know, who knows if it passes because you know, as a cultivator, what you did. So you'll know it'll pass because it's clean, but you still got to pay that fee every time and it's got to go through them. Fortunately, here in California, you know, they've allowed people to have distribution licenses so that there's not one distribution center, because that would be a monopoly for sure. And that's what they wanted to, supposedly, you know, the lobbyists that put 64 together were trying to stop it from being a monopoly and corporations coming in and taking over and stuff like that, you know.
So interesting because pot is such a non-corporate drug. You know, it's such a non-corporate thing that these corporations were trying to get a grip on weed. It seemed obscene, you know.
Yeah.
It seemed disgusting.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a little out of place, you know.
A lot out of place, right?
You know, because you think about where it comes from, and it's been outlaw for so long. It's kind of like, you know, the way alcohol was for so long.
Way longer than alcohol,
but it's been demonized longer.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
And now, you know, you have people trying to come in and throw money into it. And they got, you know, and some of these guys don't realize it's not just about the money into it. You got to do the diligence on what this business is. You can't cut corners on the cultivation. You know, you can't cut corners on quality, because people, you know, there's more information out there.
Yeah.
You know, so people know. Even if they're not a connoisseur, as a consumer, you know, they can read about shit. They can learn about stuff. So if you're getting over on them, or if you're putting some shit quality product out there, I mean, people are going to know. And all that money that these guys put into trying to get into the cannabis business, they're just throwing it into the fire.
Yeah.
Some of them will come out of it, you know, they'll partner up with brands that exist and people that have knowledge, but you know, it's the corporations that come in the next 5 years, it's going to be interesting, because I do think that it's set up for them to come in. The taxes are so high right now for the consumer and for the cultivator and for the retail shop that you got to survive this wash right now that's happening in order to still be, you know, doing business when the corporate structure comes in. Because please believe they're going to lobby so that those taxes come down, because the margins are not right, you know, as 40% taxes.
Is that what it is now? It was 39 in Denver, right?
Yeah, but here in California, it's, you know, 40%.
But to the consumer's like, who gives a fuck? You know, if I could just pull in and get some weed real quick.
They should give a fuck.
They should, but in comparison to alcohol, like how much it costs if you go out for a night for some drinks, it costs way more. You get high for a month on what it takes to get
pretty much
a few drinks in a night.
Depending where you go, those fucking drinks are even double.
Yeah.
You know?